I had to remind myself that this is about creating the persona or the lifestyle of the person that I want to be, and that it's a marathon, or you could even say like an ultra marathon where you go for a spell and then you have a break. You stop, you think about what you've done, you refuel, recharge, and then you go again, rather than going full blast into something, wearing yourself out, hitting the wall, and it gets tiring. So the year's goals can be achieved if we just break it down, step by step, month by month, day by day, and breath by breath. Hello and welcome to The Human Now, where we're discussing ideas around what it means to be in this state of time, and more importantly, making positivity louder. My name is Akash, and today I just want to welcome you back to another episode, whether it's your first time listening, whether you've been with us for a while now. I just want to welcome you back, and hopefully we can lift the vibration of positivity in this session. So as I mentioned in the previous podcast, that I want to try and create these little smaller episodes where I break down on the posts that we've been putting up every day this year, and what these posts are. The idea is it's around putting up a post and having 365 days of positivity, so that we're lifting the vibration of positivity every day. And we usually just chuck it up on all our social media platforms. And the idea is that it's like, or what I do is I kind of just go through my day. And at the end of the day, I do a little bit of a reflection on a little positive moment, or something that stuck out to me as being positive. And from there, what I do is just write up a little bit of a post and share it, in the hopes that it lifts the vibration of positivity out there, and also that there might be someone out there who's also maybe going through the same thing, or in a situation where they don't know how to get out of, or just need some help or inspiration. And so that's what those posts are about. And what these little episodes are about is just for it to be an extension of those posts, where I might bring up like one or two, depending on how long it takes to go through each one, and just discuss what my thoughts and intentions were behind it. And yeah, like I said, we're all in the middle of a lockdown. It's a bit hard to get people into the studio, and I thought this would also be a cool way just to get more of an insight into who I am, where I learn things from, and also to help grow this community and create a bit more of a conversation and engagement around what we do here at The Human Now, so that it's not just about me and my learnings, but it's about everyone's learnings, and creating that positive environment for us all. So without further ado, let's start all the way back at day one. So now this was done on the 1st of Jan, and I remember, so I had actually done like a 365 days of positivity the year before in 2020, and I kind of did that on my own personal page, just to see and test out if I could actually do this thing. And I found that I could. I had enough discipline, and it was enough of a priority for me to follow through with it. And so that's why I brought it onto the Human Now, just so that, it was something that was meaningful to me, and something that I wanted to make a priority in my life. And I remember when I started doing it, it was because I wanted to be a positive person. So I thought about what a positive person would do, and something that I thought about was, well, I have to do some sort of reflection, or just think about being a positive person and what that would mean. And so for me, that was doing these little reflections every day. It kind of also reminds me of what Humble the Poet talks about as well. He always talks about how we look to find or want to be someone, like I want to, what does he say? He's like, I don't want to necessarily, it's like, I don't want to be the fast, I want to be the fastest person. Or no, that's not a good example, but what he ends up saying is along the lines of, don't like want or try. It's like create the person that you want to be. And so for me, I had to create the person who I thought would be a positive person, and then pretty much did that and am trying to be that. So that's enough of me rambling about how I got here. Let's start with day one. So day one's called Breath by Breath. Before we get into it, maybe let's all just stop what we're doing, get into the right mind space. If you're driving, then don't stop what you're doing. But if you do have a moment, then let's just stop for a moment, bring ourselves to the moment, and after that, we will continue. So if you just close your eyes, stop what you're doing, and let's just breathe in and out. Cool. All right, that was good. One more time. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's just bring our attention, our energy, our focus to this conversation. Everything's happening in the world outside. I know my mind is racing just because this is the first one that I'm doing. So I'm just trying to relax myself, tell myself that everything's okay. It's just me and the mic. And I'm speaking to you down this camera and into the microphone, and it's like we're just catching up at a cafe. Cool. All right. So day one, breath by breath. It's the start of another year. For some, the beginning of a new year means a fresh start. For others, they can carry on with the momentum from the year previous, and for others, it's simply just another day. A new year brings about opportunities to try new things, turn a leaf, and be a better version of ourselves. Around this time of year, the motivation and the buzz is set high. The vibrations and energies are on full blast, and we move out of the starting gates in full blast. To look down the barrel towards December 2021 can be a daunting task for some, as the quick realizations are made that we are running a marathon and not a sprint. Fear not, for the year's goals can be achieved if we simply break it down, step by step, month by month, day by day, breath by breath. We can achieve anything if we simply break it down. Here's to a year of hustle, hard work, actively wearing a positive outlook, and bringing out the best version of ourselves. So what I'll do now is I'll just break it down, and and from that, hopefully we can extract some learnings and understandings, and maybe we can also implement some new things as well. Because the idea about all of this is it's about growth, and what we talk about, what we learn about is more about being more positive. It's about growing, learning, and just thinking about how we can be better as human beings. So it's the start of another year. Cool. For some, the beginning of a new year means a fresh start. And that's true. Most of us may have had like a pretty crappy year. We started off at the beginning of the year with these big dreams and big things we wanted to accomplish. And like I said last podcast, life happens, and you head down this path where you don't necessarily achieve everything you want. So, what to do, and for some, waiting for the new year kind of is their opportunity to turn a new leaf and to restart everything again. So the new year brings about opportunities to try new things, turn a new leaf, be a better version of ourselves. Around this time of year, the motivation and buzz is set high, and the vibrations and energies are on full blast. And we move out of the starting gates in full blast. So what happens here is, we're all off work. We're in a very relaxed state. We're very comfortable as well. And sometimes we're not on edge and there aren't many stresses in our lives because we are on a break. And so sometimes we tend to make, or I know I do as well, tend to make goals, which sometimes may not be so realistic. And at the beginning of the year, we'll go full blast because we're off work and we got lots of time to do things that maybe it's not so sustainable when we think about what real life actually is for us. Some of us may have kids, some of us may have other priorities, other groups and organizations that we belong to. And when at the time of making these goals, we haven't actually taken into consideration as to how we are actually going to implement or how our goal can actually be sustainable so that we can achieve it. An example could be, we want to be more active this year. And so our goal is to maybe sustain or lose some weight or put some weight on, whatever it is. It's just to be, let's say it's just to be active, right? And if our routine and and our lifestyle hasn't been like that, or if we haven't had an active lifestyle, let's say the year before, then how do we expect ourselves to just flick like a switch and all of a sudden become this active person if we haven't set the right framework or parameters to enable us to do so? We might have aspirations of wanting to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and get into the gym, but is that a realistic goal where we can actually achieve something like that? Some of us may have families, some of us may have kids, which we need to actually tend to. So how do we actually realistically fulfill this goal or complete this goal while still continuing or carrying on the things that we normally do in our day to day? And I think that's where that sustainable idea of a goal, is it realistic, comes in. And so that we're not at the beginning of the year going in full blast, and then when we get a speed bump, everything doesn't get put on hold. We still have the priority and the want to achieve that goal. To look down the barrel towards December 2021 can be a daunting task for some, as the quick realization is made that we are running a marathon and not a sprint. And I think time and time over this year, I've been reminded of that, where that short-term reward and that little dopamine hit of, cool, I went to the gym, and then, or I did this post, and then I forget, like, I got a whole year's worth of work to do, and the idea of always having to get up and doing the posts or getting up, getting active, even just to be positive every day, because even being human, it is a hard job. And we don't always want to be happy 24/7. We're not going to be happy 24/7, and to want to, as I'm trying to figure out what it means to be human and be positive, and it's scary to think about, or it was at the beginning of the year, like, how am I even going to make it to the end of the month? And so what did I do? I had to remind myself that this is about creating the persona or the lifestyle of the person that I want to be, and that, yeah, it's a marathon, or you could even say like an ultra marathon, where you go for a spell and then you have a break. You stop, you think about what you've done, you refuel, recharge, and then you go again. Rather than going full blast into something, wearing yourself out, hitting the wall, and it gets tiring. So the year's goals can be achieved if we just break it down, step by step, month by month, day by day, and breath by breath. So I do this when I go on my runs. There's this massive hill, or not. It's not even actually massive. The massive hill isn't the hardest bit. It's right at the end of the run. There's this small incline, and it just goes on for like a while. That for me is the hardest part because I'm so tired, and the most gradual incline becomes the hardest thing to climb. And all I have to tell myself is just take a step. Okay, cool. Now another step. Now another step. And now another one. And that's how we have to break the year down as well. What are we going to do today to be better than we were yesterday? And what am I going to do tomorrow that's going to make me better than I am today? Don't worry about the next week, the month, or the year. All of that will get taken care of if we just focus on how we could be better than we were yesterday, or how are we going to be better than we were today. And so here's to a year of hustle, hard work, actively wearing a positive outlook, and bringing out the best version of ourselves. Here's to a year of hustle. Have I hustled? I think so far I have. In terms of output, the podcast has definitely been something that I've been actively thinking about across the year. I'm not sure in terms of output if that has if it has come across, but in terms of the work behind the scenes, refining the ideas in my head, doing these daily posts, yeah, I think I've hustled there. But that's not to say that that's been enough. Like I said in the previous podcast, I feel like there's so much more still to do, so much more still to grow and learn from. It's also been a year of hustling at work, designing buildings and spaces. Like I've learned so much into how to actually build a building, build a positive space. So yeah, man, this year's been full on. Even just reflecting back on prioritizing my own health and well-being, and the work required to get into that. And I don't think that was a full-on proper goal at the beginning of the year. It's something that's just happened as a result of this lockdown. And so that's why I want to kind of jump back to the beginning where I say it starts off as another year. For some, the beginning of a new year means a fresh start. For others, they carry on with the momentum from the previous year. And for others, it's simply another day. And if we look at it, if we step back in the grand scheme of things, going from the last day of December into the 1st of January, that's just another rotation of the earth or around the sun. The sun's going to set and the sun's going to rise the next day. It's just another day, and that happens 365 days of the year. So why can any day not be our new year? Why can't we start today? Why can't we start tomorrow? Like there's no time and place like the now. We're here, we're now, and let's just try and be something, whatever you want to be, just try and do it today. And like I said, it's just step by step. Just do something today. If it doesn't work, then we'll try again tomorrow. We'll try again the day after that, and we'll just keep trying. That's the main thing. And soon you'll gain the momentum, you'll find your purpose, you'll find your why, and if it's meant to stay and stick, then it will. So continuing on with that, here's to a year of hard work, of hustle, hard work, and actively wearing a positive outlook. I think that's something that I've definitely learned about. I'm not 100% perfect, and I know I won't be. And I know the positive outlook doesn't require that of someone. It doesn't require you to be 100% positive every single time because, like I said before, we are just human. We are just here. We are here and now, and we feel emotions and we think thoughts. And for all I know is that we probably just didn't get some rest sometimes, and some things are just gonna irritate us. And the idea is to let these thoughts and emotions flow through us, but to know that they are not us and they don't control us. And we, at the end of the day, want to carry and continue this positive outlook. So we just let it be and continue being what we want to be. And the last part, so there we go. And bringing out the best versions of ourselves. So with all the crap that happens, everything good that happens, everything bad that happens, it's all just happening. And the positive outlook is to just continue being you, let everything happen, and control what we can inside, and move through the year step by step, day by day, breath by breath. Cool. I hope you enjoyed this session. And I hope that there's something that you can take away from this, or you can action. Remember, this is we're here right now, where you're listening. If you've wanted to always be something, try something, do something, then come on, do it today, and I'll back you. If you need a little bit more encouragement, get in touch with me. I'm here to help any way I can. Nothing is impossible. We got everything around us to help us be who we want to be. The only thing that's left is for us to take that first step and really want something. Even if we just try it for one day, at least we've tried it. It's better than being at zero. Cool. That's enough from me. If you feel like there's someone out there who might benefit from this, I just ask that you please share it forward to them. If you've got any thoughts around this episode and any suggestions about how I could be better, how the podcast could be better, what you want us to discuss on the podcast, then by all means, please do get in touch with me at info@thehumannow.co.nz. Feel free to flick me a message on Instagram. Whatever way you want to get in touch. I'm here to lift the vibration of positivity. I hope you have a great day. Until next time, be human, be now.